And it'll be a long day tomorrow. A lot of film study, a lot of trying to get the whole entire game plan in. I know the coaches have already kind of got a jump start on that, so being able to talk with them and get a sense. But the only thing is they kind of at least they have a similar type scheme that we've played before and that the Broncos play. So you have at least a feel for that, and you've prepared for that in the off season. But we know it's a big game, and they have a really good team, so it'll be a great opportunity for us.
Patrick, let me ask you about a couple plays. The McCall Hardman play, was that not your first read?
It was actually supposed to be like a stop route. He was supposed to run like a triple. It was he was going to fake he's running a hitch, run deep, and then stop. And he obviously faked, and the corner fell down. And I kind of didn't know what he was going to do. And I saw that hand go up, and I was like, I got to just get it out there now. So he made a great play on it. I wish I could have got it further and got him a touchdown, but he made a big catch and kind of got that first drive, that second drive, the first touchdown drive going.
And the second play, the ball where you threw across your body to Tyreek Hill, I mean, it's not a shot that's really been there offensively this year. You still practice it, you still work on it.
Yeah, for sure. And like you said, we haven't had it a ton this year. We've had a lot of spies and guys kind of trying to maneuver away from me having those scramble plays, but it's a big part of our offense. So I was glad we were able to do that today. I thought the offensive line did a great job against some really good pass rushers of allowing me time to make some of those throws that we're accustomed to doing down the field. I'm glad that I got it to him, and I'm glad he's all good. So it was a little scary there for a second, but he made a big-time catch for us.
With this 5-game winning streak, Patrick, sputtered in the red zone, but today you got 3 of 3 to start the game, especially coming off those turnovers. Just how beneficial is that, and was there anything that you noticed that helped you guys be more successful in the red zone today versus?
Yeah, I think it was just execution. I mean, even the plays that didn't score, I feel like we executed and we're in the right position. We had a good feel for what we were going to get, and I thought guys ran the routes the right way. And then when it wasn't there, we made plays happen off script. I say it every week, but I feel like we can do what we want to do as long as we execute. We have the players, we have the playmakers, we have the coaches, and when we execute, we score a lot of points, and we don't.
Patrick, I know there's always plenty of room for improvement on offense, but how much do you feel like you're starting to see what you would think of as a complete team when you guys play like this on offense, work out some of the kinks and the way the defense has been playing?
Yeah, I mean, I've been saying it. With the defense playing the way that they're playing, if the offense can get it rolling like we've been known to do, I mean, we're gonna be a tough team to beat. And the defense is playing with confidence. They're understanding the scheme that Spags is calling, and they're playing good. And the offense, I think we're getting better and better each and every week. So I'm just excited to continue to build this momentum and try to keep it rolling into next week.
Patrick, since you've been here, the lowest amount of points you scored against the Raiders is 28, and of course that was when you scored all 28 in the second quarter out there at the time. What is it about the Raiders that just seems to bring out the best in you guys offensively?
I think it's just you understand that it's going to be a battle. I mean, you understand that there's a rivalry for a reason. You can feel that just being around people in Kansas City. Even though you didn't grow up here, you feel like you've played this team for years. For me, I think guys are just knowing that they have to come into the game with that mindset of we have to be great every single drive. We really accept the challenge and go out there, and we've had success.
The winning streak, you all have flipped the turnover margin completely. Is there something that happened in practice or in the locker room where you said, hey, we started cutting out the turnovers?
I mean, we definitely focused on it. I mean, we focused on me not trying to throw it into like the wrong spot, kind of placing it in the right spot, runners tucking it and really covering it up in traffic. But I think at the end of the day, it's just guys going out there making plays on defense and offensively just playing hard and rallying to the football.
I know it's two different teams, but is there at all a similar vibe to 2019 when you guys start to come together and all facets of the team are playing well at the same time? Is there any kind of similar feeling in the locker room right now?
I mean, there's a feeling of we're coming together and figuring each other out and learn how to play complementary football. But every team's different. I mean, every season's different. You're going to face challenges and adversity together. And we faced a lot of adversity early in the year, which people hadn't seen, and people threw us down and act like we were done. But you're seeing now that we have the guys to do it, and it's if we come together as a team and take it day by day, we can go out there and do what we want to do.
Patrick, you mentioned that adversity. You're a guy that studies other quarterbacks, studies the past. I'm curious if the way you've had to do things differently this year, do you look at a guy like Brady, there's one different ways just because winning is kind of the most important aspect of doing it?
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you can even watch the documentary he has out right now. I mean, he just wants to win at the end of the day. And there's all types of guys that have done that. It's awesome to win and throw for 400 yards and 5 touchdowns and all that different type of stuff, and it feels amazing. But I learned in my career that those losses when you're throwing for all those yards feel terrible. So you'd rather win no matter what it takes to win. If it's throwing for 100 yards and winning, or if it's throwing for 300 yards and winning, as long as you have that W, nothing else matters.
Last two. Hey, Pat, real quick, on the sideline, they were doing fast stuff, and I saw you. Were you trying to join, and you trying to keep the team from going on?
I was like joking around, acting like I'm trying to back those guys up. But yeah, no, I'm not the best dancer, so I try to stay away from that. I have a little bit of rhythm, but nothing that you want to put on TV. So I try to stay away from that as much as possible, and just try to be the funny guy on the side.
That looked good, man.
Last one, can you talk about what that first play did to the whole football team to set the tone?
Yeah, I mean, when guys step up and make plays, I think it was Hughes, or it might have been Darren Reid that knocked it out and Hughes picked it up. I mean, those guys are playing tougher and tougher each and every week and have that confidence. And whenever you get a big play like that in the first play of the game, it builds that momentum, that confidence in the entire team, and it kind of sparked us to go out there and get a win.
All right, thank you.
Thanks, Pat.
Mike, I would say your role changes just the last 48 hours or so. Kind of walk us through, just your preparation.
We always talk about the mentality, next man up, and today was one of those situations, and our job is always to stay prepared, and I was prepared to play today. All of us were. Obviously with the game we just had, and I'm proud we got the W.
When did you find out that you were going to be starting?
Probably yesterday afternoon, while we were going through some plays and stuff. Coach gave me the heads up. So.
Like I've seen the pack a mean right cross. How often do you practice?
Wait, can you say that again?
A mean right
Oh.
cross. That nice little punch you have.
Right.
How often do you practice that? Are you a former boxer?
No, I'm not a former boxer, but we practice that weekly. Turnover drills during practice. Just different ways to create turnovers for the defense. We practice those situations, and multiple situations like that came up today, and I had my opportunities and made the play. So good.
Mike, that first play, have you ever scored a first play of the game before? And just what was that feeling like?
I did once in high school, but I was a quarterback, so that's a little different. But it's always good to get a fast start like that. I think that was huge for our success today. Jumped on them quick, and I think that fueled everybody, and it got the team going. So it felt good to get on top of it.
All right, have you had any contact with those areas? How much was he on your mind today?
He was on everybody's mind. Before the game, we said that we were going to play for him, and we always just we got our brothers back. No matter what's going on. I think he's dealing with a tough situation right now. I won't get into it. That's his business. But we wanted to play for him today, and we went out there and did that. So that felt good to get that dub for him.
Things started to get chippy out there a little bit. How much conversation and trash talk was there after they stopped on the logo before the game, and obviously you guys put it on them in the first half? There was seemed like there was a lot of conversation going on. So,
I didn't hear about the logo thing until after the game, but that's pretty disrespectful, But I'm glad we jumped on them the way we did. They came in here, and I mean, I can't really explain that. Like, I know one of our guys wouldn't do that. So, we just came out there and played ball, man. We try to not to get into the trash talk. Those refs are, they ready to throw these flags, so, we got to be careful.
Mike, can you describe what you saw on the first play of the game that led to you picking the ball up and scoring?
Jay Reid, he made a good play on the ball. Got the secured the tackle, punched the ball out, and I just happened to be in the right spot, and I took every advantage I could of the opportunity, and turned out well for me.
And what about, on the block where we saw on both those and the fumbles that you were able to force in the game?
Say that again, sorry.
Could you walk through what you were seeing on the fumbles that you were able to force?
Oh, yeah. Those guys were carrying the ball pretty loose. I saw some soft spots, and, I took my shots, and like I said, they worked out today. And, it's always good to create turnovers and, get our offense back on the field. So, that's all that matters is that we got the dub. Defense came to play, offense came to play, and, we're all happy that we won today. So.
Mike, can you explain sort of your difference in comfort level getting the start on a league day versus
You know, my mindset is always coming to, help wherever the team needs me, and that's how I try to approach the game. No matter where they try to put me, I'm willing to do it if it's going to help the team. So that's all that matters to me.
I think you scored your only other career NFL touchdown in your first career game.
Mm-hmm.
Did you think you'd be finding the end zone a little bit more?
Yeah, I mean, I do a little bit of returning, so eventually I knew I was going to get in there. Didn't know how, and there's no better way than getting the fumble recovery and running in for 10 yards. It felt good, and I'm just happy we got the victory. So that's all that matters to me.
Thanks a lot.
Tyron, you won't read about this, but Jerry Sneed obviously what was going through. How much was he on your guys' mind today? And then Mike said that you guys even mentioned playing for him.
No, he's on our mind a lot, man. Obviously, anytime, somebody lose somebody that close to him, obviously, I feel like most of us, could relate to that, losing people. But just wanted to play for him today, his family. And I felt like we did that. I thought we started the game with some luxurious energy. And so we kind of kept it going throughout the game. Let them enjoy the time with their family, but every now and then, send them a text and try to call them FaceTime.
Tyron, 3 straight games, you guys allowed 9 points. Since you've been here, do you have this much confidence in where the defense is as you do right now? Yeah, we won a Super Bowl. But I think outside of that, I think anytime, you can kind of get back to who you think you are, who you know you want to be, especially the way we started the season. So I think a lot of that credit, has to go to coaches, and players too as well. Because I think for the most part, none of the coaches panicked, and then none of the players panicked. So I thought that, gave us a chance to kind of get back to, who we thought we could be.
When you look at this game and how you all have been playing over the last 5-6 weeks, how important is it knowing going into Thursday's game, a team that has come to Arrowhead and beat you, but now that can also put up points? How good is it that the defense is playing the way that it is, that you can take that, travel with that to Los Angeles and put up a good show? Yeah, I think it's important. I think anytime you can get late into the season and your defense, starts to come alive, it always goes back to that old quote, defense wins championships. And so I think as a unit, we're just trying our best to get better, each and every week, and really give our offense as many possessions, as possible. I thought we've been doing a great job just getting to the quarterback and then taking the ball away. So, which both of those things, results most of the time in Patrick getting the ball back. So that's really just been our mindset, just trying our best to be a unit that complements the rest of the team. But also how important is it, because early in the season you all weren't able to create turnovers, give the offense extra possessions, but now that you all are creating those turnovers, they're actually doing something with it on the offense side of the ball, scoring. So I think that's why it's a team game. I think with our offense, they got the ability to really strike at any moment. So like I said, the defense, we know that the offense can rely on us and vice versa. So I think at the end of the day, it just builds team confidence. And whether you're on the road or at home, I think every unit understands that they can play off of each other.
Mike said he didn't know about the logo stomp by the Raiders until after the game. Did you know about it before the game? And when you found out, what was your reaction?
No, I didn't know about it. I found out about it post game. I had an on-field interview. One of the guys mentioned it, but it doesn't really move me. I don't think champions, really act in that manner. Yeah, it doesn't really matter.
How impressed are you with Mike Hughes being able to step in and make big plays right from the beginning, considering he, got to start playing?
Yeah, I mean, his time has been coming, for a long time now. Obviously early in the season, him kind of still getting adjusted to the defense. It took some time. I think right now, he's playing with that confidence, that swagger. And he's one of those guys, every time he's around the ball, he's trying to punch it out and rip it out as well. So, like I said, that, just that in itself,
it's energy, it's creating energy, and that's where our team defensive. That's what we feed on.
It seemed like you spent a lot of time playing in the slot today, where normally Legarius would be. But the game plan's got to change, in 24 hours in a situation like this. Is this something the coaches come to you, or do you volunteer? Because that's something that you normally do too.
Yeah, I mean, I got a text at like 5 that morning, and it was like, hey, we're going to do this week. And I was like, all right. For the most part, obviously I got a good feel for, all 5 positions back there. And I think, I'm one of those guys that can go play really anything and kind of get us through the game and help the game. So, and then it always feels good when you kind of go back to the position as you first started at. It kind of makes you feel young again. So, yeah.
I know on the other side of the ball, but I'm curious over the last few weeks, what have you seen the offense work through to get back to what appears to be usual? So.
Yeah, I think those guys have a championship foundation, and really no matter what those guys go through, especially the rough patches, I think what those guys have built over the years, they can always rely on that. So, like I mentioned a couple of minutes ago, there's no panic. None of those guys are panicking. So I think that's important. We talk about team and that team chemistry as well. So it's only a matter of time for those guys start to get the rolling. I think as a defense, if we can get those guys some extra possessions, I think that does those guys. It does well for those guys.
Couple more guys. Barry, how have you seen the front four come on, and how much do you think that's really helping you guys?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of our defense is built on that. Those guys up front, really controlling the game and taking over the game. And, from there we have different coverages that kind of, allows me and, obviously the Jerry's to kind of be who we are. But I think when you look at our defense and just the philosophy of it is those big boys up front. And so it's good to see those guys, just continue to not turn it off. You know what I mean? And I think just that alone just resonates with the whole team.
Darren, you were asked earlier about the past few weeks holding teams to 9 points. What kind of message does that send to the rest of the league? That you guys, it's just not the Chiefs' offense that is getting the wins; it's the defense that's carrying the team as well.
I mean, we're a complete team. Special teams. I think defensively, we have some great players, really at all 3 levels, and offensively, those guys have been able to break a lot of records, the last couple of years. And I think really the only thing on our mind is, complementing our teams. How can we, be a benefit to the rest of the team? So, it just comes down to really commitment and staying committed to each other. And, us being the reason that we want to go, where we want to go. So, as long as we can continue to keep team first, I think we'll continue to get better.
Last story starting with that. Hey, Tyler, real quick, talk about the secondary as a whole, because throughout this winning streak, you guys been playing good football. Someone said with the pick six last week, we had an interception, DeAndre Baker played. Talk about Mike Hughes, talk about the secondary as a whole.
Yeah, we got good coaching, man. Dave Merritt, even Spag, those guys do a great job with us, really communicating with us, being able to, allow guys to play to their strengths. And then I think, too, really in-game adjustments and really in-week adjustments when you're trying to prepare for a team or give them a new wrinkle, give them something different to look at. I think a lot of that credit, has to go to the coaches, but I think us as players, we just want to set the tone. We want to set the tempo. We want to be a part of the reason why, people watch the Kansas City Chiefs. And so, I think that obviously falls on leadership and just our preparation throughout the week, just trying to find something, to get better at.
I just wanted to clarify. You said you got texted 5 days about playing the slot. Was that yesterday or today?
It was Saturday morning. Saturday. Yeah, Saturday.
All right.
Yeah.
Last one here.
A lot of talk about the Chiefs getting their swagger back, right? What does that mean to you in your opinion?
I don't know. I'm just trying to stay humble. I understand it's it's a long season. It's the NFL. Anything can happen. But I do feel that confidence growing. I do feel that our preparation is really continuing to rise. And I think that has a lot to do with the success we've been able to have. The last couple of weeks, especially defensively. I think it comes down to a lot to of how we prepare.
All right, thank you. Thanks, man.
Appreciate it.
Josh, I understand getting the info for the first time in a couple of years.
It's exciting. It's rewarding. True.
Josh, I'm sure you guys have worked on that play, but when it was actually called in a huddle, what was going through your mind?
Yeah, I wasn't for sure it was going to be up this week. We've been practicing for a couple of weeks. Coach Reid's been reassuring me that I was going to get my opportunity, and I had my trust in him. You know, I knew whenever that time was going to come, you know, I was going to be ready. So I made sure that was the case today, and it worked out.
Have you been frustrated by your performance thus far? I mean, I know you've been wanting to get in the end zone, catch a few passes. How would you rate your performance so far?
I'm not happy with where I'm at. I think that's just me being a hard critic on myself. But I'm also aware of where I'm at and how blessed I am to be in this position. You know, so I take every day, you know, with pride and joy, and just no matter what happens and what I'm able to do, you know, I think it's a win for me personally. So the rest of that, I think that's just me trying to be able to.
What was the toughest part for you, jumping in, trying to pick up Andy Reid's offense mid-season like you've had to try to do here?
I've done it in the past, I think a few times. So, you know, sometimes it feels like a whirlwind, but it's just extra time. You know, with coaches, watching film, or at home, any free time I get, I'm trying to do a little extra, you know, because I have to. You know, so just putting the time in to study the play, study the film, the nuance, and then getting better at knowing exactly what Pat wants to do, how he wants to do things, and that comes in at practice. And obviously, practice is a bunch of mistakes for me, but repetition has been key. So he's been patient with me, which I appreciate that.
Having been part of other rivalry games with other teams, how did the atmosphere at Arrowhead today compare to some of the other atmospheres you've experienced in your career?
Well, I think this one's pretty big. I'm not gonna lie. I didn't know much about it prior to getting here, but as soon as I got here, it was the first thing I was told, you know, was watch out for Raider Week. And I love the energy, because I love the competitive nature of all the guys, and you know, the attitude the coaches have, the players have, and the entire staff has about this week. And then the animosity towards it personally, whatever may have happened in the past, recently, you know, or recently today, from what I heard, you know. Apparently, you know, I guess the success we had today was warranted. So.
Jeff, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, but I think entering today, depending on certain metrics, you guys as a team led the league in drops. But there were no drops today. I just wonder if there was something that Coach Blakemeyer and their enemy in the offense sort of did to get you guys sort of refocused, or if it was just a collective group of the receivers and the tight ends making a more concerted effort. And if it's even different catching the ball with Patrick versus, you know, some of the average quarterbacks we played with before.
Yeah, no, that's definitely a change in velocity. I think for me that was a big thing. Kind of being unaware to how quick the ball gets on you, and then obviously I've been out for a little while, so I realized I got to knock this rust off. And it was interesting to see I wasn't the only one dealing with that issue. So you know, I think a lot of times we expect it to come a little bit easier because we've been doing it for a while, but the attention to detail that happens at practice, that happens off the field, going the extra mile. Coaches have been big helping us with that during the breaks at practice, so we've been making it a point to make sure we do our part on that.
You know, Josh, you've been with different teams. What jumps out at you about this group that you've joined, both as football players and as an organization?
The energy, the liveliness towards wanting to be successful in football. You know, I think in life as well, but they're very tight-knit group, very familiarized, I think, with each other, and knowing what to expect from each other. So I think that builds a certain type of rapport, trust with each other, that they can count on each other without having to second guess. So I've noticed that. I've noticed Coach Reid has allowed the players to interact in a way that's very genuine. And he always talks about us showing our character. Being other places, that's not always the case. So I definitely appreciate him for that, because I think it allows the players to be their best self.
Hey, Josh, you mentioned that you and Patrick are still working to get on the same page. I was wondering if you could elaborate on maybe what extra steps both of you are doing to kind of get there.
It's probably more me, more me. I think I just need to sometimes, I've been too slow, I need to speed up, and vice versa, and sometimes I just slow down. I'm trying to, I got a long stride, I might overstride something. Recently, let me slow down and stop right there in that hole, and I'm okay. I don't need to be so rigid, I think, and how it is on paper. I'm seeing how it's drawn up, and I want to do it exactly how I see it. And it's not as robotic as it may seem. So, I kind of got to just play ball as opposed to being someone who doesn't play ball.
Josh, this may be the same answer, but in case it's different. When you mentioned knock the rust off, what are you referring to? Like, what are sort of the hardest things to get away from football so long?
I think the fluidity in which I'm probably used to move. I think I've noticed like maybe I'm second guessing my movement. It seems like do I still feel that's fluid, and can I do it consistently? So I just self-doubt, a little bit more than anything. And once that goes away, fades away, I think today was a big help towards me moving in the right direction with that. So a lot less second guessing and more just
Last one.
Hey, Josh, you had mentioned the need to be patient, but even Coach Reid had told us that since you've been here, there's some things that you do that don't appear in the box score. How much pride do you take as being a blocker down the field, and what goes into being an effective blocker as a wide receiver?
Well, I think it's just the mindset, and I think coming in, I was anticipating maybe not to get the ball as much, so I was like, all right, how can I, implement my own footprint on this team if I'm out there? And I think that was blocked, and knowing my physicality and the size I've been dealing with, I'm like, okay, let's go 110% and everything else, before things get going. So I take pride in that, and I think that other receivers do as well.
Just as a quick follow-up to that, you mentioned your size. Do you ever notice any cornerbacks' eyes widening up when they see you bearing down on them?
They talk about it after we, they notice it, like, man, you really are kind of big dude. I was like, well, yeah, that's different than my
All right, guys.
Thanks, Josh. Is that it?